My name is Nicole Pontecorvo, and I work in the Office of New Student Programs, and welcome to the webinar. Welcome to Duke.
Let's go to Rodney.
Now I'm off mute. Hello, everyone. I'm Rodney Kozar. I am the manager of the OIT service desk, and I also manage the walk-up service desk at the link on the lower level of Perkins Library.
Thank you. Next up is John.
Hi, I'm John Gorsuch. I'm representing Duke University Stores. The areas that I am representing is the Duke Technology Center. That's the computer store on campus. And I also oversee computer repair on campus. And also I can answer some textbook questions if they come up.
Thank you. Next up is Margie.
Hello, my name is Margie Strickland, and I'm with the Duke Undergraduate Admissions Office. So about a month ago, I was very important to you, and now I'm increasingly less important to you. So congratulations. I'm so delighted to welcome you to Duke. And I can answer questions about gap years and things like that.
Great. Next is MJ.
Hi, I'm MJ Williams. I'm the Director of Housing Assignments with Housing and Residence Life and Student Affairs.
Great. Debbie?
Hi all, my name is Debbie DiUlia. I'm from the Office of Information Technology and I'm over the Duke Card services.
Anne?
Hey, I'm Ann Roy. Welcome to Duke. Also, I'm with the Office of Information Technology, and I can help you with wireless and ePrint and your IT needs.
Awesome. Alexis?
Hi, my name's Alexis Manhertz, and I'm Assistant Director of Financial Aid.
Ellen?
Hi, I'm Ellen Crawford. I'm the Immunization Coordinator at Duke Student Health. I'm one of the RNs there. So if you have any questions about student health or the immunization process, just let me know.
Grayson?
Hi, I'm Grayson. I work in Duke Dining and I oversee the student dining plans.
Kirsten?
Hi everyone, I'm Kirsten Marinko and I oversee marketing and communications for Duke Dining. Welcome to Duke, we're excited to meet you.
Rachel?
Hi there, I'm Dean Murphy-Brown. I take the baton from Margie, and I'm responsible for getting your transfer credits evaluated, getting the syllabi sent to the directors of undergraduate studies, and the emails are going out this afternoon, linking you to your general college advisors. So I'll probably be able to answer a few questions you might have.
Awesome. And Carmen?
Hi, I'm Carmen Rawls. I'm the Academic Dean from Pratt. I'm similar to Rachel, helping students from Pratt transfer their credits and advising them and helping them along the way.
Awesome. And again, my name is Kasey Johnstone. I'm the Student Development Coordinator in New Student Programs. So a little bit about how this will work. At the bottom of your Zoom screen, there's a little icon that says Q&A. So if you have any questions for any of these folks or really just about what life at Duke is like, feel free to type it into the Q&A and then I'll be asking on behalf of you and we'll get all your questions answered. This really is a space for you. So there's no such thing as a stupid question. Anything that you are curious about, feel free to pop it in the Q&A. And we are recording this just to let you all know. That way we can post it later for folks who weren't able to join us, or if you joined late or have to leave early, that kind of thing. But I did get a question in my email earlier, so let me pull that up real quick. All right, first question is, what is the housing process for transfers? And that might look a little different this year, so whatever you're able to share.
So the housing process for transfers is adjusting a little bit. We will be, currently we're taking applications for the off-campus housing lottery that went live this afternoon, and we'll continue to collect those through Friday, June 12th. And then next Wednesday, June 17th, we will release those results of who has been approved for off-campus housing. And then the housing application for on-campus housing will go live on Wednesday, the 17th. And we will start collecting information about which quad you may want to live in, if you want a single or a double, if you want to be in a double, who's going to be your preferred roommate. If you and some of the new transfers decide you want to form a block and live close to each other, we can also accommodate that. We are going to try to get as many transfer students that want to live on campus. So don't feel like you have to take the off-campus route if you're not comfortable with that. And we're just kind of going to put you in the mix with everyone else and try to get you in housing just like the rest of our undergraduate students. The results for housing assignments. So we're still figuring out some of the transfer components of it, but during the week of July 13th, everyone will either be notified of their housing assignment or select their own housing assignment and then confirm that. So by the 17th of July, everyone should know where they're living for the fall semester.
Can you mentioned the off-campus lottery. Can you maybe explain that a little bit, just in case people don't have context?
So what we're doing for our rising juniors and for our rising seniors, and we're going to allow the transfer students to participate as well if they want to, is that you can apply to be considered for the off-campus housing lottery. At this point in time, probably pretty much whoever applies for it is going to be approved to live off campus. And that means that you have no on-campus housing obligations and that we're not going to hold or penalize you for not fulfilling your on-campus semester requirements, that you are being released into the Durham city, and you will then have to find your own accommodations to live in, if it's an apartment or renting part of a house or whatever it might be. So if you're interested in living off campus and not living on campus, there's lots of information out there. In the Q&A, I'll throw in some website information for you guys to review if you want to, as well as how to contact us in the housing office. But it's just an application to indicate to us that you don't want to live on campus, and then we'll go through those, and once we kind of reach our magic number, we'll cut it off, and then everybody else will be required to live on campus. But I anticipate that most students who apply to live off campus will be granted that privilege.
Awesome, thank you. You answered the second question, which is, do transfers get to choose if they want to be in a single or double? And that's just preference? They'll get to preference it?
It's a preference. We do know that we're going to have a lot more single rooms available than we typically do, but there will be situations that you might preference a quad. For example, you might preference Kilgo quad as your preferred quad, and while we assign you quad, it may be that you get assigned with a roommate. We're going to try to do as many preferred roommate pairings as possible. So if you don't indicate a roommate, chances are you probably get into a single room. We don't necessarily want two unknown people living together. So we're going to do our best to meet the single requirements, but there's no guarantee to that. And then if there are preferred roommate preferences, we'll take care of those as well.
Thank you for that. The other question I have is, will orientation be virtual, in person, or both? And that's one that I can take. Our team is still figuring that out. Nothing has been finalized yet. We are looking at a few things. We're looking at like kind of like a flipped learning model. So maybe some videos that you watch ahead of time, but then also doing some in real time sessions together, because we think that building community is really important, and being able to connect with your peers is important. So doing some of what normally would have been like sitting in a session, maybe making those available to do videos ahead of time that you can kind of complete on your own time, but then also making sure that you have time to connect with your peers, connect with your orientation leaders, and then also connect with campus partners. We'll have some like follow-up discussions. But like I said, nothing is really finalized yet. We're still working on that, but it's most likely going to be a mix of things. Yeah, let's see. MJ just posted about where to get like some more resources and to get questions answered. So if you're with us and if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A and we'll get them answered for you. I had another question that came up about move-in day. I guess, MJ, what can you share about that? I know that's like a can of worms, but yeah, any helpful information about that? Oh, you're muted.
Right now, I apologize. My cat is being very loud in the background. So we anticipate that we're going to have a staggered move-in, and that will start around August 6th, and there will be a certain number of students that are allowed to come back to campus every day until the first point is orientation, which begins on August 13th. So my guess is that first year students and transfers will be in those first waves of students to come back in the staggered move-in. We have not figured that out yet, and we we'll send more information probably around the housing assignments time about that staggered move-in so that you can start your plans to get here at your appropriate day and time. We usually kind of have a mass move-in, and it's organized chaos, and our friends from New Student Programs do a fantastic job with that. This year is going to be very, very different. So once we get all the details worked out about this new staggered move-in, we will be sure to share it with all of the residential students as soon as we have the last I dotted and T crossed on the plan.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I know that kind of put you on the spot a little bit, but awesome. Well, we're still waiting for some questions, so I wanted to open it up to the panelists. If there's anything that would be helpful as far as like information from your office or any other updates that you have, what would be helpful for transfer students to know? What are things that they can be doing right now to prepare for starting at Duke? So I'm not sure maybe who wants to share something.
I'll share. Yeah, I'll share just that from the Duke Card office, if everyone that's coming can make sure they have a photo uploaded that's on our website, that will streamline being able to get your Duke Card and your mobile credential as fast as possible. So that's a really important first step.
I see Rachel has her hand up, so Rachel.
Can you hear me okay? I think I'm unmuted. So I just wanted to let everybody know that if you sent us your syllabi, thank you. We appreciate it. We have sent it to the departments and we're waiting to hear back from the DUSs. What I really want to share with you is that registration is, everybody can take a big, deep sigh of relief because it's been pushed back a little bit, and you'll be registering in August. There's no need to hurry and register right now because things are changing at a rapid pace and we're just getting ready and prepared to have an excellent semester in the fall. And so I think what you all need to be doing now is looking through the course bulletin and finding, the universe of classes you would love to take. And, obviously you'll be whittling that down in consultation with more information when you get all the information back from the departments. But just take a big, deep sigh of relief, because the good news is you're going to be registering with your class now, right? You'll be registering with all of the sophomores or with all of the juniors, whichever is appropriate to you. And that's a better position than you're in right now. So just hold tight with us, be patient with us. We're working as fast as we can to get those evaluations done, and you'll have all the information that you need in order to register in a timely fashion when it's time to register.
Carmen, do you have anything from your side to add?
Yeah, so I want to echo Rachel's sentiments and encourage the students to visit our website. And the Pratt undergraduate website has information on all the different departments, so they can go in and start looking at the handbooks for each department and get familiar with other resources like the e-teamers. So if they want to reach out to an upperclassman in one of their departments at Pratt, they can go ahead and ask them questions from a student perspective. And we'll also, after we finalize the course evaluations, I'll be helping the students out with their course selections for the fall. But like Rachel said, the good thing is they have more time and they can start reading and getting more familiar and really looking at the classes that will be interesting in taking.
Great. We had a couple questions come in. So one is, will the schedule for classes change with re-registration?
Yes, that's why we're re-registering. That's why we're doing it, is because we're gonna have a pared down course offerings this term, because we have to guarantee that every course has an online component as well, so that no matter where you are in the world, you can take the course. And so that's what we're in the process of, somebody said earlier, crossing our T's and dotting the I's and the little J's as well, because they have to be dotted too. So, I mean, there's just an enormous amount of things that are being perfected right now for you, and it's just going to take a little bit more time than usual.
And another question is, when will we receive advisors so we can register for a summer course?
So those are two different but very important and related questions. I think SMA sent that question in. You'll need to contact admissions in order to be able to register for a summer class, is the answer to one of those questions. The second part of that question is, I'll be sure that students are paired up with advisors this afternoon so that they can make that contact, but there's no need to be registering for the fall again until early August. But the summer school stuff, we'll definitely get that in the works.
And I wanted to add from, which is different a little bit from Pratt, is that right now all the advising questions will be directed to me, and I'll be helping determine which class will be most beneficial for them to take in the summer based on their course evaluations. And they'll be assigned a faculty advisor right before the fall semester begins.
Great, thank you. We have a question about dining. So what are the different dining plans available, and how is dining changing due to the coronavirus?
Dining really isn't changing much. There's still going to be dining plans to choose from, A through E. Right now, we are working on getting them finalized. So again, I don't really have much information about that, but if you look at our dining website, all the plans are on the dining website under the plans and points page, and there will be more information to come on the dining plans when you register for housing.
And can you maybe talk a little bit about, because I know like every school is different, so maybe talk about like flex point, like the different options.
Yeah, so our dining plans are all on point based. So 1 point equals $1. So for example, Plan J may have $1,750 on it. So it's like a retail. If you go to any other food restaurant, 1 point equals $1.
Thank you. All right, waiting on some more questions. Do any of the other panelists have updates or things that they would like to share on behalf of their office? Okay, I'm gonna start with John and then we'll go with Margie.
One of the questions that incoming students ask soon after they figure out their housing and their schedule and stuff like that is, what kind of computer should I get? And on our site, which we're part of Duke Stores, you can go to dukestores.duke.edu, and you'll see on our front page Blue Devil Delivery, and you can go there and see about computers, textbooks, micro fridges, etc. And you'll see selections from, I don't know if you'll be able to see this much, but from Apple, there's 4 choices there. And then also from Lenovo and Dell, there's 2 choices each that we've negotiated at great savings for students. Apple in particular, we offer it at education prices, and those are usually about the best you can find. And also what you buy at our university is backed or supported between us and also our excellent relationship with the OIT Help Desk that's located in the link in the library.
So as you can see from this turnout from all these administrators, that Duke is really committed to making sure that you have a really full and engaging year despite the complications of COVID. But the one question we're getting a lot of is about the possibility for a gap year, and we do consider gap year requests from transfer students. If you are interested in a gap year, you need to let us know no later than July 20th of that decision, and you email our office, and I'll put the email in the Q&A, but it's Stephen McLaughlin, who's the Associate Dean, oversees our gap year request. And again, the deadline for emailing him would be July 20th.
Thank you. We had another question come up. In terms of campus life, sorry, my dog is in the background. In terms of campus life, will there be a set procedure for using libraries, gyms, and other facilities, or would it operate normally during the fall semester? And are there any predictions for the spring term? I'm not sure if anyone in this group has a response for that. I can share, to my knowledge, I know that there's a group of people working on what we're calling the Duke Compact, which essentially is kind of like a community commitment to health and wellness across the university, making sure that you're making sure that you are keeping yourself, your peers, faculty, staff, housekeepers, like everyone that is a part of our thriving community, healthy and safe. I don't know if there are specifics with that yet, as far as you mentioned libraries, gyms, and other facilities. I don't know if anyone else would like to join. I just don't know if there's like concrete procedures that have been written, but I know that it is definitely a conversation that is being had right now regarding masks and social distancing and following guidance from health officials.
Yeah, Kasey, I think that really sums it up. More information regarding details related to that are to come, but I would anticipate that everything we've been hearing and the messages that many of you, I'm sure, have received from the president of Duke, really a lot of things are not going to look like the typical college environment this year. And so at the same time that Duke is committed to making sure that this is an engaging experience and really one that you could enjoy both socially, academically, and everything in between, it is going to look different. And so we have to, I think, kind of prepare for that. And I do want to highlight something that in our first communication that Kasey actually sent out today to you all via your Duke emails, a student survey has been launched by our Vice Provosts for Undergraduate Education, Dr. Bennett, and our Vice Provost for Student Affairs, Mary Pappin McMahon. And that survey is to kind of pulse check and gauge just what are some of those concerns that you have related to what the fall is going to look like. And the content from that survey will be used to inform the planning process that both higher level administrators as well as the student advisory board that they're putting together currently will use and take into account, as a lot of those details, those expectations, the compact Kasey was talking about are fleshed out more. So definitely share your voice, share your thoughts via that survey to your Duke emails.
That was a great addition. I totally forgot about that survey, and I just read about it this morning. We have another question. Is it possible to appeal a transfer credit?
Is this from Pratt or Trinity?
I am not sure. Does the answer change if it is Pratt versus Trinity?
I don't know.
From Trinity's perspective, I think the DUSs are very, very welcoming and happy to talk with students, either by Zoom or email or in person in the fall. But I think it's worth your time to give it a minute. And but the short answer is yes, absolutely. The directors of undergraduate studies are oftentimes very willing to meet with students, find out what you actually know versus what is represented by the syllabus, and make changes accordingly. Nobody wants you to take a class that you already have credit for. Nobody wants to waste your time in any way. We only want to ensure that you're prepared for the next level and the next sequence of a course. But yes, DUSs are absolutely willing to have a conversation with you about why they made the choice and decision that they did, as am I. So it's very much a fluid process. We're willing, yes, is the short answer.
And Pratt agrees. The only thing to be aware is that the evaluation is actually pretty thorough. The directors of undergraduate studies spend time evaluating the course and trying to find an equivalent at Duke. But if additional information could be provided that wasn't available with just the syllabus, that will be helpful to clarify. They're welcome to appeal and talk directly to the director of undergraduate studies.
All right, we are waiting for some more questions to come in. So if you have anything, feel free to jot it down.
Kasey, I'll jump in for just a minute.
I was about to put you on the spot.
So all the new students, whether you're transfer or first years, need to submit immunization records to us, and that's a state law. We will accept immunization records from your previous university that you're transferring from if you are not in a position to get your primary provider to have our immunization form signed. We realize that there's a lot of challenges this year with doing that. I will put in the chat box the website where you can go to get all of the directions and the email address to send us your immunization records to. It's a two-part process. We ask that you send in your immunization records and to complete a TB screening questionnaire. After you complete that questionnaire online, you're going to get an email with a PDF, and that will direct you as to whether or not TB testing is required. And we do need to have TB testing, if it's required, done in the United States and done in the last 6 months. Generally, we have a process in place on move-in days to help you guys with all of these needs. And we're working on that with everybody else as to how that is going to look this year. So we do encourage you to do as much of it as possible before you arrive at Duke. But if you do know that if you run into some roadblocks, we will be able to get you through that once you arrive.
Thank you, that's helpful. I know we had a similar webinar for incoming first year students, and one of the questions that came up was, what if one of the required immunizations for Duke is not available in their country? And so I guess I would pose that to you. And then also on top of that, knowing that some students will not be on campus. So if they're choosing to learn remotely, what does that look like if they are not in a space that has that immunization?
So if you are in a country that does not have some required immunizations, we want you to go ahead and send in what you have, the records you have, and the vaccines that do fulfill the requirements. And then once you arrive on campus, we'll be able to help you with those. Specifically, a fair amount of countries do not have a Tdap vaccine, which is tetanus and pertussis, and that is a requirement here at Duke. So if you live in a country that does not have that, once you arrive on campus, we'll be able to help you with that. There have been a lot of questions about remote learning, and we are encouraging you, if you at any point in time during the semester or during the year plan on stepping foot with us and coming and joining us remote, on campus, to go ahead and send your immunization records in now and just have that behind you.
Great, thank you, Ellen. Let's see if any questions came up. Don't see any. I want to make sure that all of the panelists have the opportunity to share. I know we heard from academic deans, dining, housing assignments, stores, admissions, OIT. Is there anything on your front that would be helpful to have for transfer students to know?
Yeah, I could say first thing is that for transfer students coming in, please make sure that you don't buy any software before you have a chance to get your net ID and password and log into our software website. Many softwares that we give you here is free. Everything from Office to antivirus support, a full copy of Adobe as well. That has a lot of products in it. So please don't buy anything before you get to campus or before you actually activate your net ID and be able to go online and look at the softwares. Also, once on campus, or even if you live off campus, if you ever need any type of computer help, we're always available at the walk-up desk down at the link, which is in Perkins Library lower level. We also have different number of products that you can rent for free as well, everything from GoPros to cameras to if you're in the library, you need a charger, or if you're off campus and you happen to forget your computer charger or cell phone charger, we carry iPhone, most of the Apples all the way back to the MagSafe, a couple of Novos, a couple of Dells, Android phone chargers, iPhone phone chargers, so things like that. So when you're new to campus, you're more than welcome to go to our page on the OIT site to see what we have to rent, and also just stop by to familiarize yourself where we are and ask a couple questions.
Thanks, Rodney. And I see we have a lot of really helpful links and websites and deadlines being posted in the chat. I'll be sure to pull it and post it with the recording. That way I don't feel the need to have to write everything down right this second. I'll post links when I follow up with this at the very end. Awesome. Nicole, probably, unless we get something else in, last question, and actually more of just a shameless plug. Do you want to talk about Best Buddies and what that is and kind of what students can expect if they want to be connecting with peers?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, Kasey. So Kasey is talking about the Duke Buddies program, and it's a Duke student government initiative that was launched this summer in an attempt to help enhance mentorship opportunities between current students and all incoming new students. So that's not just the incoming first-year students. That includes and very much welcomes all of you as new transfer students. And so Duke Student Government is working on rolling this this initiative out, and actually has created a survey that's currently been floating around on like social media, on Facebook, but it asks different questions related to interests and just kind of different kind of topics to help connect current students with incoming new students. And so this is something you'll receive more information via email pretty soon from our vice provosts. They'll be sharing that out with you, but I wanted to at least let you all know that it's coming, and it will be a great way to just connect over the summer. And who knows, maybe make a friend that might even be in your class year. So In addition to so many other student mentorship positions that we have on campus, this is just another way to connect. Kasey works closely with the transfer advisory counselors, also known as the TACs. You'll learn about them in your weekly email blasts via the TAC spotlights and such, and you'll get to interact with them and meet with them over the summer. I know many of you already have been connecting with them via the Wiser community, but they'll be leading chats and discussions throughout the summer into orientation. And they're just a great way to kind of help show you the ropes, because they've specifically been there as transfer students. So I think the more support, the better. And we really encourage you to take advantage of these opportunities to talk with and get to know current students who are now, your peers and members of the community that you've joined. So yeah, thanks, Kasey.
So definitely be on the lookout. I think it's called Blue Devil Buddies. I don't know why I keep saying Best Buddies. It's Blue Devil Buddies. So be on the lookout for that. And as soon as that goes live, or as soon as that email goes out and is shared with you all, be on the lookout and check your Duke emails you'll be receiving a weekly digest, a transfer digest. And that is just a space where, like Nicole said, there'll be some TAC spotlights so you can get to know who your orientation leaders are going to be, as well as just dates and deadlines and reminders of things coming up. And so that's the best way that our office will be communicating with you over the summer with any updates. So be on the lookout for that. We did have one question come in, and I think, MJ, is for you. If we're notified on July 13th if we'll receive on-campus housing and are potentially moving in the week of August 6th, does that give sufficient time to secure off-campus housing in the case that we don't receive on-campus housing? And I think you're muted.
We will know probably next Wednesday if you won't get on-campus housing. So the week of July 13th, if you've applied for housing, you're going to get a housing assignment, because if we didn't think we could house you, we would have let you know probably by next Wednesday. But we really anticipate that we're going to be able to house the transfer students that want to be on campus.
Good to know. Thank you very much. All right, I think that is all of the questions that we have. Like Margie said, you have a really strong community who is excited to have you here, excited that you chose Duke. And we really want to do everything we can to make sure that you have a really smooth transition. So a lot of these smiling faces will be a part of your welcome committee. If you have any questions or if you think of anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. If you don't know where to start, you can start with new student programs. Our email is studentorientation@duke.edu. We're a really good landing page. We're happy to connect you with people or offices that are gonna best assist you. So please don't be shy, or don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything. We're excited. I know this doesn't look like a traditional welcome or a traditional year, but nonetheless, we are excited to welcome you to the Duke community and are happy that you're joining us. So if you think of anything, don't hesitate to reach out. But in the meantime, happy Tuesday, and I hope you have a good rest of your week. Bye, all.
Bye, thank you.